episode of the Reppin' the Stateline podcast with John, George, and Josh is sponsored by the Bufalo Rockstar Group at eXp Realty. The home buying process is stressful, especially when it's your first time. The Bufalo Rockstar Group is committed to giving you a stress-free experience while guiding you through the process from getting approved for a loan to getting the keys on closing day. Let their team treat you like a rock star. To book an appointment or to search all available properties in the Stateline area, visit buywithbroda.com.
We're back, baby.
Yes. Episode
All
2.
right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're listening. Welcome back to Reppin' the Stateline podcast with John, George, and Josh. Easter
Early one here, boys.
edition.
I'm excited. This is the first time we're recording early in the morning that I get to enjoy coffee while we have our little chat.
Why don't you just sack up and drink coffee in the afternoon like real people?
I mean, I do.
Side note on coffee. I don't go to Starbucks much, which you guys know this, right? And I when I go, I always get super nervous. I'm like, what to get? So I always just say, hey, like, what's your drink? Like, I want to try your drink to the baristas. So I went yesterday, and they have this, like, blonde vanilla oat milk espresso drink thing. It's like one of their, like, highlighted drinks or whatever. It was pretty darn good.
Okay.
Give it a whirl. If I were you guys, I'd give it a whirl. The espresso was good. It was very coffee forward, which I like. I like coffee forward flavor. And so if you guys are out and about, give it a whirl. There's a vanilla one and a brown sugar one.
Interesting. I'm a ice place all day kind of guy. That's
Well,
the only thing I drink.
Speaking of coffee, I actually met with an awesome local company here in town, Snowdrift Coffee. They're based out of Roscoe, Illinois, and they husband and wife team. They were both baristas from the West Coast. They moved back here to the Midwest with his family, and they do coffee gift boxes. And we were talking about it. Whole bean coffee, beautiful stuff. You get a sample pack. There's like 5 different ones you could do as a gift box, and then you could order, and they will do free delivery to your home. On if you're in Roscoe, Rockton, or South Beloit, you order online. Snowdrift Coffee. They have pre-ground and whole bean coffee, and it's a new partnership my company's doing with them for closing gifts. They'll be private labeling everything. So
I wonder if the insurance and mortgage guy get a closing gift.
Well, when you buy a house, yeah.
I do, John, though. Yeah, tag that information, because me and my wife are always in the ballpark to find some new coffee, especially this local coffee. But speaking of local coffee, is it the Fireman's Coffee?
Yes.
Is getting some massive attention. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. I have a buddy, Micah, that works for them, and he kind of does some sales and some traveling, and he's going to some gas stations and some grocery stores and stuff that aren't in our area, and they're starting to stock it. I mean, that's pretty exciting stuff when you get into some of these bigger box chains and box stores for your products. It's pretty cool.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
And I didn't realize this, but Dee Dee's Coffee up in Rockton, Josh, we've been there a bunch of times. George, you've been there a bunch of times. Great coffee. We've been drinking this Snowdrift coffee the whole time because they supply Dee Dee's
Really?
blend. Yes.
That's why we like it so much. I mean,
Exactly.
That's a good.
It's a really good coffee. So, I mean, I was excited to get the information and meet with them. But then, you got Meg's Daily Grind. I think they just celebrated over 20 years in business in the Rockford area with the 2 locations that they have. That's another great local coffee shop. This in Zambia Coffee down on State Street. They supply their coffee to Ernie's Midtown Tavern for their espresso martini.
Didn't we just have that?
We did just have that.
I think we just had that.
So this,
Yeah,
I mean,
Ernie's one of the only places that does an espresso martini. And actually, I've had a lot of espresso martinis in my day, and they don't put the beans in it.
right. Well, Ernie's had a very good espresso martini. The best I've had in the Stateline, in my opinion, is Green Fire. They have
Yeah,
the best. They have the best one. Number two, I would say, is definitely a tie between Ernie's and Maryland Houston's. They both make a very similar espresso martini. So
but we did have a whole conversation, and me and John both agreed out of nowhere, right? I said, John, where do you think the best espresso martini is in the whole world, or in the United States, right? And we both said the exact same place. That's funny. Bar 360, St. Louis.
yes,
Really?
yep,
It's a rooftop bar in the middle of downtown St. Louis, right next to Busch Stadium. You can watch an entire baseball game from the roof.
yep.
Interesting.
Like, you don't
And-
even have to get a ticket. They don't charge you to go buy a ticket like Wrigley does to be
Yeah,
on a
no,
rooftop.
you don't. You do need reservations to get the outdoor seating on the rooftop, but as long as you're
Yeah,
sitting
but
out there,
if you just want to stand, I mean, they have a
right?
slew of places just to stand there on the edge.
They do. They have railings all along where you could just order drinks from the bar and stand along the edge and watch the game. So it's an amazing place down there.
But they have the best. I mean, and that's true pressed,
Yep,
espresso. Like, you have two of them, and you're not sleeping until 4 a.m.
correct.
situation.
The
Most
It's one
places
of those
use.
things that you got to thread lightly.
speaking of Megs, that was our home office for the last couple weeks because we are finally get to be in our new back into our old space starting today. Oh no, tomorrow. Tomorrow Saturday. So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
We
Very
will
exciting.
be-
Hey, if you guys
Yeah,
don't know George, really get to know George and his company, because I mean, John can contest that team over there. Not only are they going to start growing here, probably the next 6 to 12 months, even 3 months, but they get everything done. That's the point. We send our people to them because they get it done every single time.
Yep. So
It is what I mean.
appreciate that.
it's no, and it is about the people, and I'm just going to throw that out there too. I mean, there are a lot of different companies that offer very similar products. You know what I mean? So you could shop around to all different types of companies, get similar products. Just like there's many insurance agents, there's many realtors, we all offer similar product. But it's the experience you have when you work with the people that makes the
Oh, 100%.
difference. And I mean,
I mean,
from taking the application to getting the loan approvals to getting the processing done when we're under contract to getting the closing, George's team, second to none.
I mean, a lot of the places around us, I feel like they just see dollar signs. You walk in, and your eyeballs are just dollar signs to them.
Yeah.
They're gonna cut this corner, that corner, whatever it is, just to get that payday. And that's why loans are falling through. I mean, they start getting into the nitty gritty of stuff, and next thing you know, George is getting a phone call because X, Y, and Z couldn't get this done, or they couldn't get this done, and Georgia seems like, well, if they would have just done this, this, and this, I mean, you would have been fine. You know what I mean?
Happens a
It's
lot. Yeah, for
it's
sure.
it is, and
Um,
it's getting people that are knowledgeable about the products, like very knowledgeable about the products, so that stuff doesn't happen, because that makes my life and John's life very complicated.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't
So
need any more complications.
I would add to that, for any listener that want to look up Churchill, I'm very excited to be a part of the team. Churchill Mortgage and their history is pretty amazing. Really excited to be a part of it and grow with this company. But one of the things, because you talked about closing gifts, so one of the things that I'm really excited about is with Churchill, every closing we ship a blanket, and it's a special, like one of the really, really cool customized blankets that are super soft it's called Sackcloth and Ashes, the company. And we send that to every homeowner that closes with us. But not only that, but we also send a blanket then in the customer's name as a donation to homeless shelters around the U.S. So they started this partnership back in 2019, and they've shipped 15,920 blankets to homeless shelters throughout the U.S. I think that is, I mean,
That is
it's
that's
pretty cool.
incredible. That's incredible. But that reminds me, that is probably one of the coolest stats I've heard, right, in a long time. Because that really helps out a lot of people. But that also reminds me is our buddy John Broda's on a campaign right now that is very, very similar to the one that Churchill is doing.
Yep.
I mean, and that's here local in the Stateline. And I think a lot of us, listeners, if you can, really grasp and wrap your minds around what John's about to talk about, because it's going to play a huge impact in the Northern Illinois, Southern Wisconsin region that I think could be a partnership for life. I think that's something we could do for a very long time.
Well, it's funny you started talking about that as I'm sitting here with my iPad, I'm writing like a show notes. And I'm like, oh, don't forget to promote Purse Project. And I was thinking I talk about it at the very end, and here you go throwing it out right away. So yeah, so as a lot of people know, all three of us are involved very heavily in the Stateline Chamber of Commerce. Stateline Chamber of Commerce has an office in Roscoe, Illinois, but it covers pretty much the entire Stateline region. So it's like Roscoe, Rockton, South Beloit, a little to our west, a little to our east, some of Beloit as well. We have members in Loves Park, McChesney Park, even Rockford. So it's like we encompass a whole group, and we're more of a small, even though we have some large corporations, our primary membership are small business owners that are starting their own companies, and they're looking for that extra support to network, to get training, to go to lunch and learns, just to meet the community and get involved in the community. So that's a little bit of a background about the Stateline Chamber. I am a director. Josh, you're a director. George is the current Stateline Chamber president. I served in the past as vice president and president of that chamber. I truly believe in the organization. So this year, when George asked me if I would step up and chair the ambassadors program, which is a group of members, not necessarily board members, but just everyday members that want to get involved and be the first point of contact with new members. I say customers because our members are our customers as chamber members. And we said, what can we do to give an impact to our community? And we came up with the idea to do an event in conjunction with Family Services of Southern Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. Jenny over there is amazing. She's an awesome person to work with, and she has so many connections and ideas. So without her, I don't think this would have happened. So we are asking for donations of new or lightly used purses. All right, it could be any type of purse. It could be from TJ Maxx. It could be something that's been sitting in the closet and you haven't used it in 10 years. We're not worried about that as long as it's in decent condition. We don't want something with big rips in the lining and big stains on it, stuff like that. But as long as it looks nice, we want you to donate those. We have 3 drop locations. We have Leah Evers, Edward Jones office in Roscoe. We have First Community Credit Union's building in Roscoe in Main Street Square. And we have Mike Frank State Farm. Those are our 3 drop locations. And we're asking for donations up until April 17th. We're hoping to hit a goal of 100 purses, but I think we're going to blow that out of the water. I've collected 5 large bags of purses already personally, and we've got other people dropping stuff off daily. We've also got items then that'll be donated, and we have some items that have been donated already are small tissues, like little packets like this of tissues, little makeup bags that are clear, some lip balms, hair brushes, items like that. We got 100 of each of those already donated. But what we really need, because the shelter is low on this, is deodorant and body wash. It doesn't have to be the little travel size. You can buy the normal size, buy a 2-pack or a 3-pack, and you could donate that at the same drop-off locations. All right. And we want to stuff those in there. Now, once it's all done on April 26th, Wednesday, April 26th, at 3 p.m., we are going to be meeting at the rooftop at the Hotel Goodwin. All right. And to enter, it is either bring a purse or it's $20 at the door. All right. All proceeds are going to Family Services of Southern Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. So the chamber's not making a dime on this. We are going to have appetizers. And what we're going to do, it'll be a cash bar, obviously. So if you want to have a cocktail, you could do so. And we're going to have people network and stuff the purses. Then we're going to load them all into a box truck overnight and then deliver them to Family Services the next day. The big piece on this is it's a networking opportunity for our business community. It's an opportunity for you, the listener, to come out and meet business leaders. It's going to run from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and it's going to be at the rooftop of the Hotel Goodwin. And it's for a great cause. And we are super excited to be giving this opportunity. Now, once Family Services gets these items, this is what the heart warmer is. So we have a lot of families that are in shelters right now, especially our battered women's shelters, our family shelters, people that maybe some people that lost a lot over the storms right now. Mother's Day is coming up, and this is what gave us the idea. If a kid who's in a shelter with his mom can shop and get her something, how awesome would that be? So the kids are going to have an opportunity to go pick something out for their mom, to give their mom a present for Mother's Day. And that's part of the give back. So, I mean, it's going to a great cause. The items that are going in the purse is stuff that the families can use every day. And the purse is just there as a carrying vessel. Jen has gotten nice gift bags to put these in when the kids shop. After they pick their purse, they put it in a gift bag. They got a wooden rose that'll go into it, make it a whole big ordeal for the kids to really package and wrap their mom's gift. And it's just going to be a great way to give back. So I appreciate everybody that's been donating, sponsoring, doing what they can do. It means a lot to me. I didn't know how well this would be received when we first thought of it, and it's our first time doing something like this, and we're getting great response. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, very, very excited for it, and just love that we're making a difference in the Stateline area.
And now, one other thing while we're here, I want to talk about the Stateline area too, because we all know a week ago Friday we had some major storms come through. We had tornado touchdown in Belvedere. We had a roof collapse of the Apollo Theater there. And, one person lost their life, a lot of people injured, critically injured, and the community came together. But it was just in this morning. This is Friday, April 7th, you're listening. So this morning's paper, the Rockford Register-Star, had an article that the Northwest Illinois Alliance of Realtors has secured $25,000 in tornado relief grant money. And there's ways to find it. I'll have a link in our comment section on how you could do this. We had 28 hurt, 1 dead in the Belvedere roof collapse. That's according to the newspaper. But these grants, you can apply. Each person that applies can get up to $500. They want to spread it around. Basically, they're given grant money to cover deductibles, so we can get things rebuilt right away. The grant can be used to cover the cost of monthly mortgage expense, rental fees for temporary shelters, reimbursements, losses directly related to the disaster, water heaters and HVAC that's been damaged. So it's definitely a great opportunity to get some of that recouped and help people get their lives put back together. So I will have a link to the form to fill out in the comment section below. If your home took on damage and you're looking to maybe get some of this grant money, it applies. It's open to all people. It's an application process. When the money's gone, the money's gone. But I definitely think everybody that has damage should give it a try.
Agreed. Another thing that's just awesome about our community.
Also, you guys are gonna notice I'm now outside. My family woke up. So that means I am gonna maneuver a little around my house. For you that watch, you that listen, it doesn't really matter.
And if you're a stalker, pay attention to the numbers behind Josh's head. You might be able to figure out where he lives.
Oh yeah, right there. There we go, baby. Dude, on a side note, can I show you guys something?
Sure.
And only the people on YouTube are going to be able to see this.
So if
But
you only
look
listen on the podcast, you're gonna have to go to YouTube.
Look at this. This is my front yard.
What'd you put in a grain?
You see that?
What happened?
So, maybe a month ago, before we left for Florida, this is a little snippet for some of you homeowners, and you guys can talk about this. Because you know something that happened to now. So my basement backed up. My floor drain failed. And I got in the shower one morning, got out of the shower, and the water in the shower, in my stand-up shower, wasn't draining. Like, it was flooding into my bathroom, like the actual bathroom part. I look, there's water on the toilet, and my sink wouldn't drain. And then I'm like, oh shoot, right? So I go into the laundry room, completely flooded where the floor drain is. 100% completely flooded. So I called Roto-Rooter to come out to the house, and they did. And they threw a snake down there, and they're like, I'm going 85, 90 feet, 100 feet. There's nothing, right? It's clean. So then they called and got backup, and they threw a camera down there. And the pipes from your house to the street are 4-inch pipes. Once you hit city pipe, it turns into a 6-inch pipe. When they threw the camera down there, a foot into the 6-inch pipe, it was clogged with sand. Couldn't go any farther. So they called the city. They got them out here. They assessed it. They said, yes, it's our problem. And the next day, they had my entire half my front yard torn up, cleaned out the pipe, replaced the pipe that was completely crushed. And now I have drainage. So as a homeowner, you're responsible from the pipes from your house to the street. If those collapse or anything, it's about a $10,000 to $15,000 fix. And there are insurance companies that will cover that. But the moment it hits 6-inch pipe, it's city problem, and they got to pay for it and take care of it themselves.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
you lucked out with that one.
So I got
Yeah,
brand
no
new
kidding.
pipes. I got brand new pipes for free.
There you go.
Now,
I
while
just
they
don't have-
had while
I
they
just
had
don't
your
have
yard,
rats.
when they tore your yard up, though, did they replace your pipe as well then, from the house
They didn't
to their
replace
connection?
all of it. They replaced a good portion of it.
All right, because they realize that they have to have a good connection to the new pipe, so they have to update
Correct.
that pipe as well as far back as they can.
Correct.
All right.
Yep.
Well, that's good. Now, as an insurance agent, though, how do you know if you're covered for something like that?
Because there's a coverage called service line or buried line or underground line is the coverage. It's maybe $75 for the year for it. But you have to add it on. Also, though, the city, all of our municipalities, so Rockford, Loves Park, McChesney Park, Roscoe Rockton, the city water works department offers it to be added as a monthly cost onto your water bill.
Oh,
And it's like $12 or $15 a month to add it to your water bill if your insurance company does not offer the service line coverage.
that's very good to know. So,
But when it blows, it's a minimum 10 grand, right? No matter
yeah,
what. I mean,
'cause you got to
it's
dig
pretty,
it all up.
yeah, it's pretty set in stone. Depending on how far they have to go back, it goes up from there. But standard 10 grand.
so one other question when it comes to that, when it backs up and you don't know if it's your pipe or the city's pipe, and all the water, if it kept backing up and it backs up into your house and causes damage, who covers that?
So first, you have to do what they call is mitigate, right? You have to mitigate the situation. So first, you got to make a phone call to a local plumber or a company, whoever it is, and get them out as soon as possible. Then it's your job to start with shop vacs, towels, squeegees, whatever it is, dehumidifiers, fans, everything. You have to get the water up. So if you have a coverage called sewer backup or sump pump failure coverage, that is what covers you on a flood from a backup. They start at 5,000. The coverage just started at 5,000, and they go up from there. It's an add-on, maybe $100 a year. I would say if you have a finished basement or nice
Worth every penny.
there, it's well worth the money to have. If you just have slab or like a cement basement with nothing in it, you don't necessarily have to have it. But what it covers is it won't cover the sump pump that failed, right? You as a homeowner has to get that fixed because it's a maintenance problem. But what they do is they will cover the damages that were caused from the backup.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And like, I'm just pulling stuff out right now because the sub pump that failed, I work with a couple of different home warranty companies, and they will cover the sub pump and they will cover some of the mitigation through the home warranty, but not all of it. That's why I was asking about that, because I know flood insurance is a totally different thing. But if it's a pipe issue, if it's a sewage issue, a seepage issue, I know that's different than if it was flooding from a river or rainwater or stuff like that.
Now, if you have a pipe that just like bursts, right? It just bursts. Everything is more than covered. That's what we call as a loss of a caused peril. Right.
Because maintenance on your pipes, you're not going to be changing the copper pipes in your house every 10 years.
No. So,
well, that's very educational for people. So, I mean, this was good. We got into this conversation. It sucks that you had to go through all that. I know you were getting ready for family vacation. You had all this stuff going on. You had a renovation happening at your house.
It's also a blessing, right? It's also a blessing in disguise, because if something were to happen while we were gone, we would have been screwed. I mean, when your pipes back up, it's no one's fault. You can't prevent it. It just happens, right? And it can happen at any point in time of the day. It's a freak situation.
Yeah.
But then also we have to give. I know George gives a shout out. I know John's start talking to him, but Jeff Carey, handyman himself. A lot of you guys know I was on vacation a couple weeks ago, and I turned 30. So for one of my birthday gifts, we got some money towards redoing our upstairs bathroom. So Jeff Carey has been vigorously working the last 2 weeks on
you guys were gone.
A full gut. He ripped everything out, fully gutted the bathroom. We had some moldy baseboards. We had some moldy 2x around the window, because we had a window in the shower. And this man, I tell you, I mean, he's like a miracle worker. And you can ask George. This guy can turn anything into luxury without it being like luxury items. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
it's like when you see those everything. It's like when you see those videos of, hey, can you turn my McDonald's gourmet, right, for a chef, and they turn your chicken nuggets and French fries into this like extravagant meal. That's what Jeff does.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff does. I mean, we had a non-functioning bathroom, essentially, where our bathtub would only get warm enough for the girls to take a bath, but not a normal adult taking a shower, to now 2 weeks later, fully functioning, gorgeous bathroom that is just, it's breathtaking. So.
Yeah, my house was built by Joe Connorino, Country Homes, but I joke that my home was built by Jeff Carey, because he's literally redone every room in my house since we moved in. We moved in 2010, but for 13 years we slowly made it our own, because we bought the house at a perfect timing in the market, where we got it for way under what it should have been because of the crash in 08, and so I didn't feel guilty kind of sinking money into it, because I got it at such a great price. And we've literally now finished every room in the house, and it's all been done by Jeff. Jeff is the best. And Ryan Monette, we referred him over to Ryan Monette in our group.
Dude, Ryan Monette is literally, I think
Yeah.
he's taking every savant dollar he can find and is paying Jeff. He might be paying Jeff in stock.
Well, he said that was the best referral he's ever received in his life was Jeff, and I agree. He's the best.
Well, I
So
know
if any of you are in the process of wanting some rooms remodeled, give us a call. We have the guy.
so I will tell you
100%.
that between George and Josh and Ryan now at Savant Wealth Management, I can't get Jeff to my house to do the entry door. I'm like on
yeah,
hold forever. So it's like, because he will
20
finish a job before he moves on. It's not like he's working a whole bunch of stuff. So I mean, but definitely a good thing. But yeah, we got some updates we need to do this year. And geez, that hailstorm that came through on Tuesday was a little crazy here. So I got somebody coming out to walk the roof and see what happens. But hopefully we can get some of
Who do you
our-
have, John?
But to come walk, I have actually a licensed insurance adjuster. Not with he's not
Yeah, you want
affiliated.
to speak about that real quick? Because I don't think the majority of people in our area know the difference between the license adjuster, right? And
a roofer.
so and so and so and so. I'm not gonna name names, right?
Right.
That come knocking.
And there are some reputable
half hour
companies
after
in
storm.
town. And I'm seeing these signs are popping up like weeds all over my neighborhood because Roscoe, especially Chicory Ridge, got hit hard on my Facebook page. And you can search my name. I got an open Facebook. You can see 30 minutes of hail. We had, dime to quarter sized hail come down for 30 minutes straight. It looked like nothing. By the time it was over, it was white. It looked like we had a foot of snow out in our yard. I had rivers running through all the culverts between my house, down the street. The whole Chicory Ridge on Verbena was flooded. It was like a river. The entire street was a river from all the hail. So, I mean, the difference now is most roofing companies, and I'm not going to name names or disparage anybody, but if you're not working with a locally licensed roofing company who has their own employees, who has their own crew that actually gets on your roof, then you're dealing with a salesman. The salesman the salesman knows about shingles, the salesman knows about the warranties, the salesman knows about the product he is selling, but he does not do the install. He knows how it should be installed. But that person, he or she, I shouldn't keep saying he because there's women that do this job too. They hop up on the roof, they look for the damage because they're trained in a class on what to look for. They draw a 10-foot by 10-foot square with chalk and they count the dots. And I know a lot of this because in a former life, I was a contractor and I used to help do these sales for a local reputable company. I was not a roofer, but I was a licensed contractor. And I would help with the interior damage that comes from roof failures. So I have a good friend who is not affiliated with his brother's business, but it's Luke Bufalo. He is a licensed insurance adjuster. He spent 20 years working for a roofing company, servicing, selling, roofing, hanging shingle. And then he went to work for insurance companies. And as a licensed adjuster for the insurance company, he is the guy that says yes or no, there's damage or not. So I won't waste my time putting in a claim against my insurance because Josh will explain what that does to you if they come out and they go, there's no damage. But I will pay his fee to have him come do an inspection of my property, search for the damage, see if there's enough damage to warrant a claim. Because once we have a claim, we have a hit against our insurance policy and we have a deductible we have to take care of. So it's not, and like we said about people seeing dollar signs, these roofers that come from out of the area and they come into town after a storm, they travel, we call them storm chasers.
Yeah.
They see every house on a street in that zone on the map as a dollar sign. And this is how they make their money. And you can't blame them. They're selling a product. But where are they when that warranty fails? So my advice always is use a local company. If you don't know a local company, you can reach out to me. I'll give you 7 great local roofing companies right here in town that all have their own crews that stand behind their work, that have been in business for a long time and will warranty what they do. So I'm not gonna like favor one guy over the other right now, but they're all friends. All these guys are friends with each other. They all know each other. But it's definitely something to look at. If you've never heard of the company before, it's probably because they just travel the country chasing hailstorms.
Yep.
But I would recommend highly have an adjuster or a reputable roofing company. Like, granted, the reputable roofing company will tell you as well. They'll go up on your roof. They do enough of them locally. Yeah, this warrants a claim. No, this doesn't. I mean, but Josh, why would I not want to have file a claim even if they don't do any work? What does that do against my homeowners?
So no matter what, when you turn a claim in, whether it's paid out or zero paid. So let's say you turn a claim, they fix your roof, 20 grand, right? They do a bunch of stuff, gutter, siding, roof. They pay out 20 grand. Your rates are going to go up for the next 5 years. Okay. But they're not going to go up 20 grand worth. You might go up a max of $1,000 over the next 5 years, which is fine, right? They gave you 20, you gave them 1.
Right.
Weigh the odds. Okay. No brainer. I say you turn a claim in and they pay you 0. They say, you know what? There's no damage. Not enough to claim. Okay. They pay you $0. Your rates are still going to go up for the next 5 years. That $1,000. So now they gave you 0 and you gave them 1,000. Because a claim is a claim, no matter what. Whether you turn it in and they pay out, or you turn it in and they don't pay out.
But
it's
Josh,
gonna be on your record for 5 years.
But Josh, okay, so I didn't get the claim, then they raise my rates. I go, I'm going to shop them. Then I'm going to go somewhere else. What happens? I go to that next company.
You're still gonna be rated on a claim.
Yeah. So you're not going to save any money by moving.
Yes, your rates might go down. When you switch to Josh, you always save money. But I might be able to find you an insurance company that will, take you lower because it's a zeroed out claim. But still, you're getting rated on it. You're getting rated on it. So I always tell my
stays
clients,
with you for 5 to 7 years, correct? It stays on your record.
I always tell my clients, whether you get in a car accident, whether you have hail, whether you're anything, a claim, right? Always get an estimate of what the damages are before we turn in a claim. No matter what. John went through an accident some time ago, or Venice did, and your first call was, hey, what do I do? Right? I'm not even your insurance agent. And you're just like, hey, I trust Josh. What should I do? George actually did the exact same thing a while back when you got your new roof as well. I wasn't your agent, and we just talked about it. You know what I mean? Go get an estimate. Go find someone that you trust and get 2 or 3 of reputable companies. But go with someone that you trust, get that estimate, and then we can move forward in the process of turning in a claim.
Right, and I would definitely do that.
Before that, don't turn anything in until you know for a fact that, yes, you have damage. Yes, they should pay out. And then we'll go to bat and start fighting and get you what you deserve.
Well, that's the thing. Like I would talk to Luke. He's an adjuster. That's what he does for a living. And he's not affiliated with a company. So he's not trying to sell me a roof. He's just trying to look out for my best interest. And I love his service so much that I actually offer this service at a certain marketing level. When you hire me and my team to list your property, we include one of these inspections at different, you have 3 choices basically. Well, you have multiple choices, but when you work with us, you have a choice of packages with some bonus extras you get. And this is one of the things I give people is one of these inspections from him, because worst thing I could do is list your house. We have a home inspector come out who finds all this roofing issue. They say it's storm damage. That seller now puts in a claim. There's no claim because it wasn't that. It was just wear and tear or an old roof. And what could have cost the home seller, $1,500 to $2,000 in repairs, now is costing them higher insurance rates even after they sell the house. So his service is definitely the first step. Second step, then if he comes out and says I have damage, then 3 of these reputable roofers I work with are each going to give me a quote. And then I'm going to call my insurance company.
Exactly.
Because I want to know what they have to say. I want to know apples to apples, because my insurance company is going to want multiple quotes anyway. And I would much rather pick who I want to work with than who the insurance company sends to me.
Correct.
So,
100%.
And the insurance companies can't tell you who you have to go with.
right, that's steering, and that's illegal, but it happens.
Yep, it does. Just know, as a homeowner or an auto owner, right, you have the ability to go to whoever you want, no matter what.
Right, you pick whoever you want to work with, no matter what it is.
Yep.
And always pick a company that does factory parts when it's your car.
Oh,
we this wasn't even on any of our because
No.
George set us up with a awesome website that we take our notes on, and it's called Notion. We've kind of talked about it before a little bit, but it really keeps us grounded on what our show prep is, what we're planning on talking about, et cetera, et cetera. And none of this was on our show prep.
No.
And I think episodes like this that you guys are getting are raw episodes.
Raw, real, relevant.
What's relevant? Yeah, I mean, we
relevant.
What better thing to talk about this week than issues that can come up with all the storms that we've been having in our area, and hopefully, our listeners, learned a thing or two about what to do from some of the best pros in the area that used to have a contracting company, used to remodel, knows what to look at in homes, knows all the ins and outs of insurances. So yeah, having the two of you on this update on this episode is pretty awesome stuff.
Well, I just found Luke's card, and he has his own license. He's a licensed insurance adjuster, does claim services, he does appraisals, and he does umpire services. So there's our segue into baseball. But
Yes.
And he's also one hell of a home cook. I will tell you right now, he makes pizzas, and we should probably do a pizza with Luke sometime this season. I'm just throwing that out there and he does like meatballs and a homemade sauce. It's like this old family recipe. So it's like, I've had it. It's good stuff.
I know we are coming, kind of towards the end of our episode here.
Yep.
And we didn't really talk about what we've done. But I think that's a moot point at this point in time.
Right.
You guys know us fairly well. But there are some things happening in our area, the Chicagoland area, and a holiday this weekend. So everyone let's listen today. Happy Good Friday. I hope
Easter this weekend.
Happy Easter on Sunday.
Happy Passover for our Jewish friends. Happy Ramadan. We have, they're all happening at the same time this year.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I actually learned a stat kind of before we go into what's happening in the area. Did you know that March 31st, which is my daughter's birthday, March 31st, and one of my really good friend Matt Larson, you guys have met him a couple times. Their birthdays are March 31st. March 31st is the number one day that Easter will fall on.
Really?
It
falls on March 31st more than any other day of the year.
Yep. It's happened so far. I think I forget what the stat, how far back it went, significantly back, right? It's happened 22 times.
Wow.
And it says it's going to happen another 44 times until the calendar runs out, whatever it is, right?
Right.
But next year, March 31st, Easter.
Nice.
So it's a wild stat. I'm sure if you guys Google it, it'll tell you all about it. But I just found that just absolutely appalling that March 31st is the number one day for Easter.
That is interesting.
Well, but on a side note, there are a slew. And when I say a slew, when I typed in things to do around me in the Rockford area, I think at least 15 different egg hunts popped up for kids.
There are a ton
There's
of Easter
actually-
egg hunts.
There's
Yep.
one today and tomorrow at a bank. I don't know what bank it is, but they are dropping eggs from a helicopter.
What?
Yep.
Well, they got to be like plastic eggs then, right?
Yeah, but they're dropping it from a maybe First Bank.
No,
is
it's
there
not
First-
First Bank. It's First Community Church down on Mulford, I believe. Like the first.
Somewhere
I've
in
been
the
seeing
area
that sign all over the place. Yes.
is dropping Easter eggs from a helicopter.
No,
Today,
it's City First Church.
City First
City
Church.
First. Yep, and they're doing it today and tomorrow and Sunday. I want to say that's wild.
Is it like a real
I remember-
helicopter though, or is it like a model helicopter?
I think it's a real helicopter. I think they're chartering a real helicopter, and they're dropping Easter eggs like it's the New Year ball drop, balloon drop, baby.
Wow.
It's gonna be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's on the. Looks like it's on the field house. Or hold on, let me see. I just saw it. Football field.
On the football field. All right.
That's sweet. That's cool. And in Chicago this weekend,
Little Wayne.
Little Wayne, a million himself.
It's
I
not
couldn't tell you the
little.
last time I saw
It's
a Little Wayne concert.
Wayne.
It's not
like-
Little Wayne.
It's Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
When was the last time you even heard of Little Wayne performing? 2006?
Maybe.
Lil Wayne. I'm sure he
Maybe.
performs every year. We just don't hear about it because he never comes here. So it's
No.
kind of cool.
Doesn't come to Rockford, not like Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg was
Snoop
Snoop
Dogg,
That
yeah.
was crazy.
I've
That
seen
was a
Snoop Dogg
crazy
live
concert.
in front row, and it wasn't in Rockford, it was in Milwaukee. Probably one of the wildest concerts I've ever been to. Like,
I bet.
I love the fact that these old school rappers and old school bands, right, are touring again. Because
Yeah.
it gives us older folk that, grew up on this stuff a chance to see them one last time. And it's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I felt back in 80, 87 when I saw the Rolling Stones, and they're still touring. So you never know. They
Oh,
might
and
go forever.
and me and John learned something the other day, that if you go to a show or a concert, you need to buy 2 posters, keep one for yourself, frame it, bolt it to the wall, screw it in. I don't care if it's at a bar or if it's in your kitchen, screw it to the wall, and then you need to sell the other one.
And then you sell the other poster. And that's only with certain bands though to do that. That's the jam bands. All the jam bands like Fish and Mo and even Dave Matthews does that. They have artists that will make limited edition posters for each night of the concert. And they number them. So it might be 1 to 50, it might be 1 to 1,000. It depends on how many they want to produce. But less obviously means more. And the people at the concert, they collect these. And yeah, they are worth a lot of money. So you gotta watch where you actually display your artwork. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Screw it to the wall. Screw it to the wall.
There you
So
go.
that's just how it is. But I want to say though, I mean, we've had some amazing stuff this week. Baseball is back. I'm not
Baseball's
sure how I
full
feel
swing.
about this pitch clock. A lot of people getting balls and strikes for no reason at all, but I guess
Shohei
Major League-
Ohtani, baby. The first
But-
person to get pitch count called on him, hitting and pitching in the same inning.
Yep. But it's just crazy watching how it's going. But I see you got your socks on, Josh. I'm a Mets fan. Everybody knows I'm a Mets fan. We started off going strong. We were down there in Miami. I mean? We took the series. We lost the game, but we took the series. Then we come up to Milwaukee, and I get a text in the middle of the afternoon from my son's girlfriend going, "Hope you're enjoying the game." And I'm like sitting there going,
10
I'm like
10
working.
nothing.
It's like, I'm like, what game? And she's like, and she sends me a screenshot. Brewers 10, Mets nothing, 6th inning. And I'm like, so now I got my son's
Do we-
girlfriend busting my
But
chops.
but do we really have to go there, Milwaukee? Because if I don't know if anybody else knows, but Milwaukee had opening day.
Oh, that was
flyover
horrible.
With a closed roof. What?
They had a flyover with the roof closed.
Closed.
Did you
Everybody
also
had to
see
watch
the-
the Jets? They watched the Jets on this big screen because they
There's
said
a-
it might rain.
There's a video of someone on opening day in Milwaukee, just full-fledged peeing in the
Peeing
on
right
the
in the
concourse,
Yeah.
like right in the middle of the concourse, just
Yep.
peeing.
Yep.
Keep it classy, Milwaukee. Keep it classy.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go. So
I
that's
will
what
say
we
though,
talking trash.
You know why he peed on the concourse?
why?
There's no longer Miller Park. It's American Family Field.
Oh,
We pee on American Family.
all right. So this though, today is the Mets home opener. They postponed yesterday for storms that never hit New York City. So at 11:30 Eastern, it's like 10:30 our time, the Mets start playing, and they're playing Miami again for their home opener today at Citi Field. But segueing into Miami, did you know that Miami Marlins AAA baseball team affiliate is right here in Beloit, the Beloit Sky Carp?
Yep.
They're the Miami Marlins affiliate, and their opening day is Saturday, April 8th at 3:05 against the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. I've been to their game.
Rattlers.
Timber Rattlers, man. I will say, Sky Carp, good team. ABC Supply Stadium, amazing stadium, amazing place to watch a baseball game. And
Yeah.
they got the party deck going. They're doing it right. So it is great to see what happened with the Snappers and how it's evolved, kind of like how the Ice Hogs evolved from being a UHL team to becoming the Blackhawks go-to
Farm team.
team in a matter of time. While when I was living here, seeing this happen now for the Snappers to become the Sky Carp, just amazing. So good baseball.
Well, guys, I think that will call it an episode for episode 2. We're coming in on an hour, and we don't want to bore our listeners here at the end. So let's call it a day. Appreciate you guys. Really, really great content today. For a lot.
That was all
that's
organic
relevant.
too.
Yeah.
That's what I think the best was. Is so organic that I don't think any of us ever looked at our notes ever.
Nope. Next week, though, we got a really fun one for you. Really fun episode for you next week. So stay tuned. We'll see you guys next Friday, and I appreciate you guys.
All right, have
See
a
you
great
guys.
weekend. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy Ramadan.